Hi YouTube, and welcome back to my Let's Play World of Warcraft with Warlords of Draenor. So we are continuing on in the kind of the starting area for Warlords of Draenor, and now approaching kind of this quarry area where the Iron Horde is doing a lot of mining and weapons manufacturing. So right now our big thing is to just kind of take these guys out and collect weapons. That's my current mission, is to collect a bunch of weapons. And thankfully I don't just have to kill, a bunch of random guys and, may or may not get a drop or not. I can actually collect them. They're just laying on the ground. They're in weapons racks like you just saw, and I can get like 5 or 6 at a time sometimes. There's a couple of guys that walk around, and you'll see this in a minute, where they're carrying like whole armfuls of weapons, transporting them from one place to another. And so when you pick them up from them, you get a whole bunch of them as well. So collecting all 30 weapons is actually, here's one of those guys actually, but collecting all 30 of the weapons is a fairly quick process. Not like in the old days, for those of you who remember playing Vanilla and Burning Crusade and Cataclysm and Lich King and all those ones, where at least back in the past, at least back before Cataclysm at the very least, and stuff, but where you'd have to, if you'd have a quest like this, you'd just kill these guys, and you're lucky if they drop a single weapon. You might have to kill 50 or 60 of them to get all 30 weapons, and that would take like forever. It's like the long grinds to get quest items and things. And those days are now past for the most part. I don't know if they still have a few of those in here. I mean, obviously some of the earlier things, but they've reworked a lot of the quests from levels 1 all the way up to now. But of course, the more the higher level you get, the newer content you get, and therefore the kind of the newer quest chains and things. So I'm sure there still has got to be some of the old style quests out there in some of the earlier areas and everything. But with Cataclysm, it changed a lot. They changed a heck of a lot of things throughout the everything, throughout Azeroth, definitely. So I'm thinking Burning Crusade and Draenor, the way we're used to seeing it there, I don't think they've changed any of the quests there necessarily. I think those are all the same. So I'm sure there's still plenty of grinding quests out there if you know where to look for them. So regardless, there's and I think you can even skip doing the Burning Crusade stuff unless you absolutely want to play that content with level characters. I think you can just go through the through Azeroth and things as well. I don't know. I haven't tried leveling something from level 1 up since Wrath of the Lich King, I think. No, it might have been Cataclysm. Yeah, my warrior, I did create her during Cataclysm. She's a goblin, and I got her to about level 40 or so. The starting area, of course, was new and didn't have the same kind of grinding quests then, but I don't really recall how I played things at the time. I don't know. Oh yeah, here I'm typing something. There's that little discussion going on in the in the general chat, and talking about what's going on with this, and are we, like, did we time travel? Are we back in the past? Are we in the future? What's going on? Who are these, warlords? And just like this whole discussion of like, what the hell's going on? Oh yes, and our next warlord, Blackhand. So so he's sending his forces after us, and we've got to kind of deal with him and his forces now. But we just gathered up a bunch of weapons, so everyone's got weapons now, so that's a good thing. And these 3 are going to follow me, and we're supposed to be taking out stuff. We're mainly taking out, like, any of these guys that we can, plus we need to take out 3 of the big Ogron things. Like, here's one right there. I'm gonna take out 3 of these guys. These are big old mean nasty things. Like overgrown ogres with spiky shoulders. But I get to I don't get to fight these guys alone. I get three guys that fight with me, so that's helpful. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done. So we're gonna finish off the quarry area, and then there's another little area after that with a couple of things that we need to do before we kind of get into kind of the last big battle before we escape and get to the area where our garrison's going to be. So it's going to be at least one more episode before you get to see my garrison, if not 2. We'll see. Like I've said before, I'm trying to keep these videos to be not too super long. This one's almost 18 minutes, but just trying to find good stopping points within the action and things. But I'm trying to do these like almost practically completely unedited. I'm just playing through. At least through the starting area and stuff, because it's just constant, like, you just go, and things, so there really wasn't a heck of a lot for me to edit out, because typically with a lot of the other videos I've done, if I go to vendors and do a lot of selling and buying and organizing my bags and playing around with my stats and things, I don't tend to include that in my videos. Just because I can sit there for like an hour just kind of niggling around with stuff. It's like, okay, that's gonna be boring. I like to keep things moving in my videos. But regardless, right now it's just kind of constant action and things, and I'll probably have to do a little bit more actual editing in the future, because I'll probably be, just kind of sitting around idling and not doing much, or looking at other things and that kind of stuff, and I always have to edit out that kind of thing. But yeah, I've so far I've been really pleased with all the new content and everything with the game, and I think they've done a really excellent job with the storyline, the story progression, really cutting down on the grind with quests and things. It's just, I don't know, it's just overall, just a really good experience. Oh yes, here I'm chatting again, so. Excuse the pause in the gameplay as I'm typing that all out there. Alright. Moving along. So we've got one other thing that we've got to do, and you can see that Khadgar, or however we pronounce his name, he's doing something over at the dam, and that's gonna play into all of this in a minute. So we'll just kind of keep. Now he's just warned us to get to high ground, so we're running for high ground. And just fortuitously enough, we happen to have a quest turn in high ground. Lucky for us, isn't it? And here's why. We're about to take out the dam, basically. So, yep, there we go. And here comes the water. Whee! So this area is now all underwater, and that it kind of puts a stop to their weapons making in this quarry and stuff. So that's gonna slow them down quite a bit. I'm gonna have to drain the water and everything and rebuild the dam, so that's gonna take a while. So that's definitely gonna be a stalling tactic, if nothing else. Alright, so now we've got this little area over here, and we've got a couple of things that we need to accomplish in order to move on to the next stage. And these are kind of fun little things, so. Oh yes, I'm just kind of checking out my gear a little bit. So I'm not editing this part out because it's all new. I'm just checking and see what some of the new stuff is I picked up and things. I'm like, okay, there we go. We can just kind of change out some of the stuff. I do like the new bag organization and the fact that you can actually sort your bags based on what type of equipment it is. That's kind of nice, you know, being able to set a bag to be equipment versus trade goods versus consumables. You can't apply that to your main backpack though. That's the only thing I find disappointing. It's like, you know what, I'd love to be able to organize the backpack as well. Oh yes, Blingbot is here. I don't know if you're familiar with Blingbot, but you can say, let's party, and he basically transforms me, so I'm dressed to kill now. And basically I look like a human with a wide brim hat and stuff. I'm like, ooh, look at my butt, yay! It's kind of silly. I mean, I've still got my regular armor on. It didn't like replace my armor or anything. It just kind of transmogrifizes me temporarily. And I kind of kept it on for a little bit, but then I decided to turn it off because it looked silly. But I had to get a little package with some stuff that is like worthless. I'm like, okay, well, thanks, Blinkbot, never mind, bye. Alright, so now that I've kind of figured that out, I'm like, okay, now what do we do? So we've got these guys, and they're highlighted so you can click on them. It's like, okay, you can click on them, they blow up, but they're not really doing me any good, so I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm like, okay, I know I need to find a barrel with gunpowder. I'm like, okay, where was I supposed to pick it up? Over here? Nope. Which way do I go? Where is that darn thing? So that's one of the and this is the sad thing, is I actually played this through this area several times in beta, and I couldn't remember. Like, oh darn it. Oh yeah, we need to kill these guys to get some plans. So I'm gonna kill these guys to get some plans. We get a gunpowder barrel so we can blow up a building, and we've got to rescue an orc, and so that's basically what we're trying to do. Like, okay, let me see. Maybe it's over here. Nope. Oh, there it is. There's our gunpowder barrel. Let's see. It's a leaky gunpowder barrel, and we're leaking gunpowder all the way along behind us. And for those of you who are nitpicky about these things, I don't know if you noticed, but there was a break in the gunpowder line at the stairs. So this technically shouldn't work. But it does. It's a miracle. Alright, anyway. Alright, turn that in, and eventually this barrel should go away. There it goes. Okay, so now we get to I think we still need to find the plans, and we still need to rescue this one guy. Well, yeah, one thing at a time. Oh, I'm just kind of like looking around. What am I gonna do? Alright, I'm gonna do this. Take this guy out. One of these guys ought to have plans. Don't know who it is yet, but we'll figure it out as we go along. Those are one of the few ones where it's like, okay, you get to kill a bunch of people before you get the one drop that you're looking for. But as I've been saying, that the rate of grinding for these things has been a lot less. There we go. See, like I think it's like the third kill, and boom. You know, where in the old days you would have had to go through 20 of them before you finally get the drop. Like the probability of getting it in the first couple of drops was very, very low. Alright, take out some of these guys, because I need to get into the back to kind of rescue this other worker back there, who is unfortunately on latrine duty. Oh, excuse me, I'm munching on some food. Shouldn't be doing that while I'm recording, but I'm really hungry at the same time. I'm trying to squeeze in these videos in between all the work I've been doing, so. Because I feel like I've been neglecting my YouTube, and I feel bad about that. Yep, see, this poor guy is like scooping out the outhouses. It's like, ooh, that just looks nasty. But he's chained up here and he doesn't have a choice. So he can either sit and pout or, you know, actually work and clean up the stink. So I swear there's almost always at least one quest involving poop. At least since Burning Crusade, if not sooner. I don't know, I don't remember any poop-related quests leveling up in vanilla before getting into the Burning Crusade. Because I started vanilla about 2 months before Burning Crusade came out. And it was Burning Crusade was the first one I remember where you had to go and feed stuff to this pig and get it to poop, and then rifle through the poop to see if it was pooping out this key that you needed, or gem, or whatever it was you're looking for. That was like the first like poop-related quest that I remember. And ever since then, there seems to be, with every expansion, there seems to be always at least one poop-related quest. At least this time it wasn't us having to clean up the poop, it was the other guy that had to clean up the poop. I swear they have a poop fetish over there at Blizzard. Alright, so right now we're killing this guy so that we can get the key, so we can release our poor latrine duty orc. Because you just know that he's not, he's gonna be mad as hell once you release him. He's not gonna be mad that you released him, he's gonna be mad that he was chained up in the first place. Alright, so let's go ahead and let him go so he doesn't have to do this awful duty anymore. But yes. And I love what he says, he's like, free at last! I will make them pay! But then followed up by, but I think I need to wash my hands first. I definitely like the sense of humor Blizzard has with some of these things.
You must listen to the land.
All their pop culture references are also great. So there's a lot of little nuggets in the game that I love that they add constantly. So. Okay, so we've got that done. Alright, so this is going to basically wrap up this video. We're now heading over to the final fight and everything, but that's going to be for the next episode. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed this, please share, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe if you haven't, and until the next episode, take care. Bye-bye.